Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I have done a bunch of work since I was last on. I did mention in a previous video that I was going to be doing a little bit of refactoring of my base, and that last video I did actually I called sort of advanced building techniques, because at the time it was actually what I thought were the advanced building techniques. I've actually gone quite a bit further since then. So I don't know what I'm going to call this one. I think you might, well, you'll know when because you'll already be watching it. Maybe advanced building techniques 2 or more or something. I don't know. So I've done quite a lot more changes, and you'll see that I've got the landing pads and the exocraft and stuff now. I'm trying not to kind of reveal too much behind me. And what you kind of saw in the last episode, excuse me, I've got all these things on my HUD at the moment, it's getting kind of annoying, was this, and I had kind of been working this structure and combining the pieces. I've continued to combine them, but I've done something slightly different. For now, I don't think that these the aesthetic building blocks work all that well, because I think, as I mentioned before, you get stuff like this. They're quite good for sort of aesthetic little additions and stuff, and I have used them, but I still think using the actual kind of main building components plus some stuff that I've just sort of discovered recently works better. So I've been kind of doing some demolition work in here, and I think this is, I haven't worked out really yet how much of this is going to stay, how much I'm going to remove. So if you remember, if you saw the previous episode, I had my NPC set up in these stations. I had a third one here that had my scientist in it, and so I've moved them out, and I'm actually going to move them completely, and I've started sort of demolishing this building. I'm not sure if I'm going to demolish it completely or not yet. So what I've actually been doing is this bad boy behind me. So I've now unlocked, you see there's a little bit going in there, and then this main structure, and I've started building that out. So having kind of now unlocked, well, I think I have unlocked all the building components. So there's nothing more that appears in my blueprints computer. So I don't think there's any point in, so if you go in here, look, blueprints analyzer. Gives me nothing, inventory empty. So I don't know if there's any point in having this anymore, or what, whether they'll kind of release new ones, or even whether there's worth any point collecting the salvage technology anymore. So what I've done here is I'm still using some of these pavement things. I think they work really well. I've got to work out a way to transition, because you see, I mean, you can't tell really, but I'm stuck on that. It doesn't have there's not a great way of kind of, what you want is something that actually angles down, that doesn't clip into the ground or doesn't remove the terrain, because you get these little bits where you kind of get stuck. So as you'll see here, I've done some work where I've got this in my oxygen generator, my oxygen harvesters. I wish there was actually a key to turn the HUD off, so you didn't have to see all this stuff. That's from the other guy's bases on the servers. I think that's Monkey Puzzle and Arale. So I've used some of these kind of little half wall things to put this to bridge this off. I've used a ramp up. Let me just show you on the free cam what it looks like at the moment. So it's kind of built into this mountainside. I'm going to get to this little section in a second. I'll talk you through that. I'll take you inside, obviously, but so a lot of glass, a lot of grinding to get the glass and the ferrite, and these pieces, I didn't really kind of realise this even when I played in creative, but sort of fairly unassumingly. So obviously when you go to your build menu, you've got the basic components and the structures, but within structures you have these small rooms. And when I first kind of was playing around with this, I didn't really realise what it was going to do. But when you put these together, they form rooms, and you can effectively make them as big as you want. And then you get things like the glass room. There's some limitations you'll see as we go inside. So things like where you've used a curved wall, you can see it there because I've done my best to kind of hide it away with these flags. But where you get these curved wall pieces or roof pieces, sorry, you get a bit that sticks out from it annoyingly, which I kind of no idea what the purpose of that is. It doesn't really serve. I mean, presumably most people are going to want to use it like that. If you know a way, if you're watching this video and you know a way of not having that or what it's for, say from up here it looks a bit rubbish, then yeah, if you know a way of getting rid of that, then let me know. So as we go down inside, I'll talk you through, and what I'll do is I'll talk you through what I've kind of done, and then I'll talk you through what my plans are. So yeah, I've clipped into the wall, so I'm going to use this as my my main kind of base area, and I've got some bits and pieces outside, but just to kind of give you a view, I think it's looking really cool. I'm actually quite happy with it. These bits that are different in the floor are where I've used the support struts. You don't have to use them. From what I can tell, you can have things just free floating, but I just think it looks a bit rubbish. So yeah, these are the combination of those sort of curved pieces, the glass where you put the glass in. If you put one of those glass boxes next to another one of those glass boxes, so one of these, you'll see how it works as I'm kind of putting it out. It's doing what the freighter does. So you're effectively building the negative. So you're not adding something on. You're building an addition to it. So to build it out even further, and you'll see that. So you can see that to build one of those sections up there takes ionized cobalt and 2 glass. So it's quite expensive, and actually these blocks themselves, even the small room simple blocks, take 200 pure ferrite, so it's quite kind of grindy. So what I've done, and I've done a bit of sort of decorating, I'm not sure if this is going to stay there. I think it's probably not. That's the thing for changing your character model that you usually see on the base stations. Some decals, and what I'm planning to do is continue what I've done with these 2 kind of rooms. So that's my farmer in there. I built him a little room. We'll go and look at it properly in a minute. That's the scientist in there. Not sure which one I'm going to have in there. I think maybe my overseer is going to go in there. So let me go down. I have an annoying little bit of terrain here, which is slightly unnerving. This door doesn't go anywhere yet. I think what I can do is go through this door and shoot the terrain manipulator back through to get rid of that. I just haven't done it yet. So yeah, to go down the stairs, you have to do some fiddling to get those stairs to work. They don't go from the solid blocks to the solid blocks. You have to have a hole underneath and a floor, or one of these ceiling pieces, which is why you can see it's raised up like that. So I put another gap underneath there, a ceiling on top of it, and then it will let you snap the doors. These kind of railing things, again, they're not snapped because they're the actual building components. So they're these. If you look again, sort of what I showed you with the pavement, you can free place these structures. So yeah, what I've done is put a door down, put a bit of decorating, just a bit of some aesthetics, one of those kind of floor things, which I think works down here. I think I'm going to put probably a one of the planters down here just for the design of it. I'd love to be able to get a tree. That would be cool to be able to put a tree in here, but I don't think you can do that. And then what I'm going to do with all of the rooms for the NPCs, I don't know why he's clipped into the floor like that. Yeah, what I'm going to do with all the NPCs is put them in rooms that are kind of decorated, because just think it's a bit more interesting. So this is the scientist, so I've decided that he's kind of the doc effectively. So he's got like a bed with a sort of treatment thing and some little consoles, and this is where my medical stuff is, and my hazard protection unit, and just a bit of decorating. It just makes it more interesting, I think. Oh, it's getting dark. Joy. So I've got opportunity, obviously, to build more rooms here, and what I've done just to divide up the space, again, you can see that I've used the building pieces. Which one did I use? I think I used the metal, didn't I? Metal window. So it's got its positives and its negatives. I don't actually have the resources for that on me at the moment, but it's got its positives and its negatives. I kind of don't actually mind that gap there. It would be probably better if there wasn't a gap there. Again, this is a bit like what you run into in Arc sometimes, is where you've got the heights of things. Just why? Just make them consistent, because then we can use them together. Is a lot easier. You don't have to find clever ways of getting around it. But as a sort of divider, I don't really mind it. So yeah, that's my scientist. I've obviously got more to do. I'll probably I think I put the weapons guy down here, the Viking, and then we go through towards the start of my biodomes, and this is my farmer room. So he's not a scientist, so he's got a decal on his wall, some planters. These don't actually let you plant anything in them, which is slightly annoying, but so he's just hanging out in here. I think his room is probably done. I think the scientist's room is probably done too. My biodome's going into the kind of kind of clip them into the mountain. I thought that was quite cool, the fact that you can kind of look through into them. So I think I probably will continue that on this way. I don't know what's going to happen with the terrain. I know that they talked about the fact that they had resolved some of the issues with the terrain respawning in your base. This is slightly worries me, and I am getting a little bit every now and again respawning inside the building. I haven't noticed it happening with the building components, but with these single rooms it still seems to be an issue. So I don't know if they just haven't done that yet. So out here, so we're still inside the mountain, but out here is my storage and my refining area. So if I go through this wall, got a couple of medium refineries there, and then I've excavated this big area out. Those are just solid pieces at the moment, just to kind of wall it off. And I've put the paving down. So again, combining the pieces together, it doesn't naturally let you do that. You have to just kind of fiddle around a bit. So it took me a while to get these nice and straight. Very slightly not, but I'm pretty happy with that. So all my storage. I have a door here which is gonna. I think he's gonna go down to a cave. I'm gonna I'll probably build this in a little bit more. It's just a room at the moment. It's going to go down to the cave which is just below me for cobalt, and I think it's either going to go, and it may well go three directions actually. It may go down into the cave which is actually just below. I think it's actually just below this vault. I was down there earlier and noticed that you can see that vault, and I think it's going to go up to where I intend to put my landing pads, and may well go in another direction to go to where I want the exocraft to be. Nothing has actually, since I tunnelled this out, interestingly enough, nothing has ever respawned back in here. So no terrain has respawned back in here. And I'm wondering whether that's because of the paving or what. Terrain is sometimes reappearing inside this building, but not in here, which is kind of interesting. So what else am I kind of doing? This tunnel goes back out at the moment, straight back out here, and I've got my landing pads. They're just temporarily just placed there. I've got two ships at the moment. I'm using one of them just as a storage, and my exocraft is kind of using storage as well. So yeah, what I'm doing today, so that's the tour. Sorry it's getting dark here, but actually it's kind of cool in the night, lit up inside. So yeah, that's going to get the overseer. That's going to be where the weapons guy is. I don't think there's anything else major. I might actually, I've obviously got capacity to kind of build out here, because I could build into the wall more. I am a little bit concerned as to what if I continue to excavate into this mountainside, whether it's just going to mean I've got terrain everywhere. But what I'm going to do today, my plan is to do today, and just to give you a bit of demonstration of how this works. So I'm trying to build a deck out here, and I've sort of 3 places down, but you can see at the moment it's significantly out of alignment, and that is the sort of thing that I can't be dealing with. So I'll show you what, and I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to give you an indication of the idea of how you do this. So these are 3 places, and this won't snap to this whatsoever. I thought maybe I could snap it off of that kind of railing thing that I've got in there, but it won't let me do it. It won't let me. It won't let them clip together. So what you have to do is basically just eyeball it, and this is what I end up doing quite a lot. I do this quite a lot in Ark as well, to be honest. It's just persistence, really. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm an alright builder, is actually because my patience levels are reasonably alright. Like, I don't mind just keep trying this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until I get it right. I'd rather do that than it be wonky. See, look how far off I am straight away. So I'm going to do this. I mean, if I get it, there's no way I'm going to get it right while you're watching. I probably will cut away. See, that looks like it's difficult to kind of get it right. Actually, maybe if I see, the trouble is I can't. If I line it up with this, I'm kind of going to be off. See, that's probably the easiest. Oh, excuse me. Probably the easiest way to actually get it. Maybe get it aligned. Hey guys, so I managed it. It's the next day. It took me a while, not too bad. I worked out actually the easiest way to do it in the end was to use the smallest wall. So I used this little quarter wall, and actually that was probably easier just to kind of see that I could line it up. So it's not, yeah, I mean it's as damn near perfect as it needs to be. You can't see it from the other side, which is one of the things I wanted, and there's no gap there, and from the outside it looks pretty straight. So this is going to be our little deck area. So we probably, I'm thinking all I'm going to do with this probably, I'm just going to look at the arches. Let's look at that concrete arch. Trouble is, it's not kind of high enough. It's not kind of long enough, so I could use it that way round. That might work. What's it look like over there? I think it's not going to be long enough. Yeah, I mean, what would be ideal would be that I could use these, but I'm pretty much guaranteed that it's not going to let me use these. No. So annoying. Because then that would give me the cool, this cool strut there, but I don't see a way of doing that. So I'm either got, my 2 options are either kind of this, which I think looks a little bit less convincing than, I mean, I could just wall down, but I think it looks better with the archway. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Can I put another one underneath? Oh, why you let me do that, game? I mean, I guess I could just bring the terrain up to meet that. Why it doesn't let me stack another one underneath there, I don't know. So what I might just do is fingers and thumbs, all the tools. So do that, and we want to change the shape of that. Make this a little smaller. Just make that kind of look like it's feasibly supporting that. I don't mind it kind of looking a bit messy under there, to be honest. I think that looks alright. So yeah, then what I'm thinking up top, yeah, that's pretty good actually. Pretty happy with that. I always forget that you can't, that's it, got rid of that now. You can't switch to the build menu while you've got your terrain manipulator out, strangely. So I can now put down, what did I use in there? I think that's the concrete. I think that's the concrete, so concrete half wall. Oh no, it's not, it's the metal half wall, isn't it? Let's just go check the other side of that. Yeah, it's metal. So what I'll just put down, just to kind of, and this is easier now because I've got, I'm out of dust. Alright, back in a sec, guys. So I thought I'd just bring you back actually just quickly, just for anyone who doesn't know this. So I'm pretty sure, so what I'm doing around my base is I'm harvesting by not removing the items completely. I don't think it makes a significant difference to the amount that you collect if you go kind of all the way up to the point where you stop before it blows up. But I'm pretty sure that it's a quicker way to get resources back, because if you blow something up you're waiting for a respawn time, and I think that respawn time is actually quite long. But if I leave that, so I've left it right there, if I then transport out of the base or teleport out of the base, I'm not sure if I fly out, but I didn't need to do that, then that one wouldn't have, so that one I've just blown up won't be rebuilt, but this one will be back to full health and I can re-harvest it back down to there again. So that's how I was kind of doing some of the grinding, because I mean we're lucky on this planet actually, because we've got a lot of pure ferrite, and I actually don't like the way those ones look, so I don't really mind destroying them. So let me just go back up here, finish this bad boy up. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode this one, I think, than I usually do, but I thought I'd just give that a go. So it wasn't concrete, was it? It was metal. Yeah, got metal. I can come back and paint these in a minute. I'm not sure if that's actually quite the right colours for this, but I think I was more black and grey. So that one. It doesn't actually. That isn't right, is it? Is it just the fact that it's in the light? Maybe it's just the fact that it's in the light. So what I'm going to now do out here is just a little kind of deck area, because why wouldn't you? I don't know why some of these are super cheap. I can't remember where so some of them have got, unless they've changed this. Oh right, yeah, so these require star silk. I don't really know why. Like why do one of these require star silk and the others don't? I've got loads of star silk, but I don't actually know if I prefer the other ones, to be honest. Oh, I didn't know you could put those flat. So what I'm going to do is just probably put the. I think I'm probably just going to put this. Weirdly, I'm going to put this sofa down out here as a kind of a little outside sitting area. Yeah. I might change the colour of that in a minute, but oh, can we put one of these carpets down? Or is it one of those things where it isn't going to let me do it because of the size? Is that going to stick out through the wall there? Yes. Annoying. I'm hoping someone is going to mod this game and give us more. Just give us more. Yeah, I always just want more aesthetics. If you've watched any of my art videos, you'll have seen that I'm all for the aesthetics. I think I'm just going to make this kind of a little hangout area. don't know if I want any of these chairs. They kind of like, they don't really match up with the other ones. These are big as well. Oh, is it because they do the stupid spinny thing? Is that the only reason why they... Right, we might... We'll put, I'll go get some star silk and we'll do that as well. Just put this chair in. I'd love a coffee table as well, but that doesn't really work, does it? Oh, I suppose it sort of does. Light table. This isn't going to let me put this other chair in now, though. That's not what I want. Oh. So do we want that one? It's got rounded arms, isn't it? Yeah, it's not going to let me squeeze that puppy in there. I'm not inside it. How am I inside it? Thank you. It's a little bit fiddly, this game sometimes, but I'm actually really enjoying it. I think once I'd kind of found this idea, sometimes when you're building in games, you just got to find the inspiration point. I think that was actually finding the fact that you could do this with the rooms. Yeah, that would do. Can't sit on these anyway, can you? So it doesn't matter whether they've got space or clearance around them. Yeah, just finding that might be interesting. Just finding that I could do this thing with the rooms and have them kind of be a lot freer. Because what I didn't like about the prefab rooms is that they were so limited as to your kind of build options. It's not going to work, is it? These things slightly annoy me. Yeah, but having the option to kind of build these structures now with far more freedom. Oh, come on, I want it this way. It doesn't let you turn that top piece, so I think it's not actually going to let me do this because I've probably got to be in that building before I can place it down. Let's just try one more way of doing it. I think I already did this, to be honest. Yeah, it's pointing the opposite way. So it wants me to be over inside the building to do that, and I'm not prepared to take that all out. Okay, I did it. I hope that didn't do any permanent damage inside, but we shall see. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Just work that out. Right, let me get this right, guys, and I'll probably cut here and bring you back in. Okay, so happy with that now. I'm just trying to remember what colour I've been painting the pipes. I don't think that's it. Doesn't look like it's changing that actually. I think they were concrete. I think what I was doing was concrete inside. That kind of works though. And we might just put down here. What am I looking for? Where are they? They are in here. I think we might just put down I don't want to put a large one in because it's too big. How big's a small one? I think that's a bit big still, actually. I think what we'll do is we'll probably just put... Let's just put a couple of these down. Let's put that guy down. Yeah, I mean, just as, again, as I said, just aesthetics, to be honest. Just to give it a bit of interest. I'd love to be able to actually put plants in these, because I do like the biomes, but they're kind of massive, and obviously you can put plants in the big ones. These guys, you can put plants, you can plant things in them. Oh, actually, we'll go there. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad there. Yeah, screw it. Let's do that. Let's take those back out. Yeah, so you don't often when I'm building, you don't often kind of get to see this level of time that I put into it. Usually I just show you when I've done it. I thought might just be interesting just to show you a bit of a slower. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. A little bit of a slower step through than I usually do. You can see how lethargic it is. I guess lethargic is probably the wrong word, but laboured maybe is the word I'm looking for. Mostly just because I always take ages to do everything. Like, so how do I actually, can I plant something in there? I've done this before. Yeah, it's that one, isn't it? What do we want in here? Maybe, oh, I can plant multiple things in here. Let's just put some gamma weed in there. It's probably the most interesting. You only get to plant one in there though, so it's pretty brutal. If you're going to doing that over planting the using the biomes would be quite hardcore. So yeah, there's our little fly out. I'll switch to the I'll switch to third person camera as well, and then so you can see me. Can I? Oh, I can't get out the door now. God. Let's just do a random scan as well. There we go. So there's my little deck area as well. Alright guys, well yeah, so I took a bit longer to do this one. It's probably a bit of a longer video, but I hope you like that. I've got plenty more plans to do. I might dress this, I might maybe put a flag or two up as well. But I think that came out pretty well. Looks like it's feasible, looks sort of supported. So yeah, I shall catch you again soon. Take it easy.